وفي العز للعبد الذليل تبلغ بالقليل من القليل بالقليل من القليل وأي السد للسفر الطويل وأي السد للسفر الطويل.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله. أما بعد، فقد قال الله تعالى في القرآن المجيد والفرقان الحميد: أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم، بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قل كل يعمل على شاكلته فربكم أعلم بمن هو أهدى سبيلا. صدق الله العظيم. Beloved viewers, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Holy Quran an eternal truth. Tell them, O Muhammad, every person, every individual does his deed and action according to his peculiar and unique makeup. وَرَبُّكُمْ أَعْلَمُ بِمَنْ هُوَ أَهْدَى سَبِيلًا. And your Lord knows as to which one of you is most rightly guided. We have to take Iqbal into consideration when we read this verse of the Holy Quran and see that through his own makeup and his own personality and his own involvement, his absolute sincerity, what did he stand for? He does not want us to follow him blindly. He will not like that. His term of reference is always Allah and His Rasul. He believes that we have the total way of life in the Holy Quran and the Sunnah, which is the exemplification of the life of Muhammadur Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He wants us to keep focused on Muhammadur Rasulullah, because the moment we move away, we know that it is very important that his Sahaba are around and everyone else is around. Yes, they are important in the play that took place, in the action that took place, the drama that took place during his time. But remember that he is the central figure. Ba Mustafa barasan khaish ra ke di hamaust garbau na rasidi tamam bu lahabist. He says, go back to Muhammad Mustafa if you want to be Muslim true. From this path, if you keep afar, no difference between Abu Lahab and you. It tells us, as a matter of fact, he told this to a great theologian, that you have to go back to Muhammad Mustafa. So he wants us to be focused, and he believes that Islam, if you want to live, it can be only through the Quran. Gar tu mi khwa'i musalma zistan nist mumkin juzba Qur'an zistan. Do you really want to live the life of a Muslim, one who has totally surrendered his will to the will of Allah? Do you? Gar tu mi khwa'i musalma zistan nist mumkin. It is not possible. Juzba Qur'an zistan, except that you live your life according to the Holy Quran. And he's speaking this because he was a peculiar person, a unique person. He was drowned in the Holy Quran, and he was drowned in the love of Muhammadur Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And through his experience, we see that this unique person, this person whose makeup meant knowing the East, knowing the West, and knowing the very best knowing Allah and His Rasul. And he came to the conclusion. And like everybody says, Islam is the answer. He believed in it, he spoke about it. Whereas we have Islam and we apologize. Islam says this. By the way, Islam comes into our discussion. And you know what Islam says about it? Islam should be the talking point and the launching pad for every type of discussion in our lives. Not everybody else, because it comes from here or there, because we have to know the Quran. We have to know the Quran. And he believes that a Muslim is one who is supposed to be a living Quran. ये राज किसी को नहीं मालूम के मोमिन कारी नजर आता है हकीकत में है कुरान. Why doesn't everyone unravel this truth and this reality? That a true believer, a mu'min, seems to be one who recites the Quran. But in reality, he is the living Quran. He is the walking Quran. He is the talking Quran. He is the Quran in action. And that is why one person who remembered Allama Iqbal saying that the Quran is the most mazloom book, the most oppressed book in creation. And he wrote, Quran ki faryad. And he tells us what we do, that ताकों में सजाया जाता हूँ, आँखों से लगाया जाता हूँ, तावीज़ बनाया जाता हूँ, धो के पिलाया जाता हूँ. Yes, what happens to the Quran? Best frames, ताकों में से. And we lift it to our eyes in respect. We make taweez out of it. We write it in saffron over the plates and then drink that water. And we have जुज़दान हरीरो रेशम के और फूल सितारे चांदी के, फिर इत्र की बारिश होती है, खुशबू में बसाया जाता हूँ. The best silk, the best velvet is used to make the covering for the Quran. Tight, so tight. And then you put itr and all types of fragrance to keep the Quran good smelling and fragrant. No. है मुझसे अक़ीदत के दावे, कानून पे राजी गैरों के, ऐसे यूं भी मुझे रुस्वा करते हैं, ऐसे भी सताया जाता हूँ. You say we believe in the Quran. Muslims all over, we believe in the Quran. But you are easily accepting the decisions and the laws and the orders of others. But by saying that you believe the Quran, you are humiliating me, the Quran says. You be mujhe ruswa karte hai. You are disgracing me. Aise bhi sataya jata hu. How do you feel? I feel uncomfortable with these types of action of yours. And all this has been influenced by this man, Dr. Sir Muhammad Iqbal. Very well versed with the East, very well versed with the West. The philosophers, the classical philosophers, Dante, call whomever you think of in those days, Gita, Nietzsche. He was well known. But going through all of these, he saw one thing. East is East, West is West. Islam is the ultimate best, the very, very best. This is what he wants, the Muslims. And he cries for that. He says, Dekha hai jo kuch maine auron ko bhi dikhla de. Whatever I have seen, O Allah, of your Islam and your glory and of our role and responsibility, O Allah, show it to the masses. Show it to everyone. He wants Mera Noore Basirat Aam kar de, the light of my insight, O Allah, make it general, let everyone see it and let everyone follow. So he keeps on telling us, and then he does not want us. Like nowadays, we have got this type of hero worship that is around. And that has in the past also, because we are in a state of decadence. And we hold on to anybody. Anybody who can insult another religion or pulls down idol worship and so on, we say, that's a hero. That's a hero. Because we latch on to anything. And Allama Iqbal warns us, the life history of nations shows that when the tide of life in a people begins to ebb, decadence itself becomes a source of inspiration, decadence. Inspiring their poets, philosophers, saints, statesmen, and turning them into a class of apostles whose sole ministry is to glorify by the force of a seductive art of logic all that is ignoble and ugly in the life of the people. This is what happens to us, that we are caught. Muhammad Mustafa we should go back to, read his life, live his life. You can never exhaust his life. You can never exhaust the Quran and reading of the Quran. There are so many translations and commentaries available. You can start over and over again and you can read them. Your libraries are full of these commentaries. So we have to go back to this. These apostles unconsciously clothed despair in the glittering garment of hope, undermine the traditional values of conduct, and thus destroy the spiritual virility of those who happen to be their victims. Because these types of philosophers and leaders, they want themselves to be on top. As Allama Iqbal says, ghazab hai ye murshidan khud bhi, khuda teri qaum ko bachaye, bigad kar tere muslimo ko ye apni izzat bana rahe hai. Ya Rasulullah, it's a calamity. These self-centered leaders of ours, in every sense, in theological sense, and in political sense, and so on. Khuda teri qaum ko bachaye. Allahumma save your ummat, Ya Rasulullah. Oh Allah, खुदा तेरी कौम को बचाए, बिगाड़ कर तेरे मुस्लिमों को ये अपनी इज्जत बना रहे हैं. They corrupt your followers, the followers of the ummah, and they see that self-aggrandizement and glory of the person himself is topmost. So Allah must save us from these types of leaders, and we have, as we can say gladly, a leader and a scholar and Dr. Sir Muhammad Iqbal, whom we should read, study, and follow. And inshallah, we will be on the right path of the Quran and the Sunnah. Wa sallallahu ala nabi al-kareem. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
وفي العز للعبد الذليل تبلغ بالقليل من القليل بالقليل من القليل وعز للسفر الطويل وعز للسفر الطويل وفي عصيانه عار ونار وفي عصيانه عار ونار وفيه البعد مع خزي